Hey everybody, and welcome to the daily card reading, or the weekly card reading for the 30th of August through September 5th of 2026. So as with these, take a rest and sleep. What doesn't, like, comment, share, follow, subscribe, or find another video at Randy Talking 93 on YouTube, Randy Morningstar 747 on TikTok, or the Talk Experience on Facebook, whenever it loads. I am working without Wi-Fi because I did say last night in an update that I did actually have Wi-Fi back. The roommate changed their mind yet again from last night to now, so now I don't have Wi-Fi. So whenever this video loads and gets to you is whenever it loads and gets to you. Usually it takes about 13 to 18 hours, so you might not see it until the day of. So I apologize for not being able to keep up with my day ahead advancements. But it is out of my control for the Wi-Fi box, and I do not control my roommate because their choices are not my fault. I'm playing with the Disney Villains deck, and we'll pull 3 cards for the 30th of August through the 5th of September 2026. So it's with these though, like I said, take a resonance sleep. There we go. We got Ace of Wands. New week, new start, fresh beginnings, newfound protections, fresh security, heightened safety, heightened sense of magical powers and empowerment, a newfound sense of strength and courage have been found within, especially with those in the year of the snake or those that have like a snake guide, or has a lot of like sorcery magic within themselves. The blood pact that you made is bonded to you. And know that the blood is thicker than the water of the Ark of the Covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. So the word that you speak and the actions that you preach are thicker than the connections that you make in family. So watch your family ties. Make sure that you know how you appear to others, because how you appear to others creates a disposition. And that's going to be really important throughout the week, especially in the beginning of the week, throughout the end of the week, throughout the day, scattered in and out. Glamour magic, red magic are going to be important. Free will magic. This includes bending, breaking, making, cord cutting, cord reconnecting, all that fun. There seems to be someone that is very spitfire with their words, very hot-headed, very passive-aggressive, very indirect with their wording. They'll say, you need to do this, or I won't do this, and they don't see that as a threat. They see it as them saying, I will do this. And it's just their narcissistic tendency of twisting words and their backwards logic. So it's time to untangle and unravel and start manning up and growing up and maturing up and leveling up. Otherwise, the same cycle is going to continue and it's going to keep repeating. For example, if you keep saying, if this happens, then I'll do this, and then they say, okay, then I'm not going to do it, and you're like, well, I was going to do it, but now I won't. You obviously didn't have any commitment and conviction. And this card shows a lot of commitment and conviction. So you need a lot of commitment, you need a lot of conviction, you need a lot of purpose and intent when you speak and when you move and when you do your magic. Speaking with intent and with purpose and assertiveness and conviction can come off forceful. And when it comes off forceful, it can be seen as rude or arrogant or cocky or selfish. But it isn't selfish to put your needs above their wants. Though it may look selfish to them because they are entitled. So working on like entitlement and vanity and conceitedness would help. Dispositions being created within your mindset and within your books because you're writing it down. Epiphany journals, or any journal that may be read or may have a snake on it. Snakes are reptilian. So there could be like a reptilian form of anthropomorphic being that may be around or present within your week as well. Red eyes stick out. Seeing red. Metaphorically, figuratively, literally. Many different facets. Watching your canine teeth. Not all snakes are venomous. So watching what's going on. The baby snakes are the most venomous. So the newest people are the most poisonous to the dynamic. So like new personalities that might pop up, like within DID or within possessive or whatever, they're going to be really harsh. They're going to be really rude. They're going to act like they're the king of the castle when they're not. They're going to flare out and flare up and threatened, and they're going to lash out like a wild animal when they get caught in a lie. Sorry guys, I keep getting flies attacking me. Next one, Ace of Coins. What this means is slow building trust. It looks like it's up in the air on money matters and financial affairs because it appears that they're going to pay you back or contact you or follow through. But they have a tendency, since that's King John's hand, to do a sleight of hand and take it back. Whether that's not pay it at all or pay it and then a week to a month later, you inconvenience them and they passive aggressively tell you, you know what, you owe me back. Otherwise, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that like I promised you before this conversation happened, which was not part of the deal, but I don't care. Hence the apathy I was talking about earlier. This is why it's so slow to trust anybody that is new, anybody that just speaks for themselves, anybody that has free will, anybody that has a lot of courage and independence and speaks their mind and posts the truth for all to see. Especially out the front door. The front door is going to be very important. Ones are going to be important as well, whether that be 1 a.m., 1 p.m., 111, 1111. Whatever the case may be, ones are important. 1 week to 1 month. So far as the timing on all of this. For any manifesting that you've been doing. Especially during the chaotic copper moon last night. That was beautiful. Slow to earn money, slow to gain trust. Especially with money manifest guides and guides that are royalty and wealthy. Not looking for a handout, wants to work hard for their money. Doesn't want to do it the traditional way though. Slow to make decisions. Constant change in their mind every minute to every hour. Constantly changing their mind every day to every week to every month. Due to depression, due to anxiety, due to lies by omission, half-truths, white lies, fibbing, deceit, subterfuge, betrayal, projection. I'm getting like, if you're not betraying them, it's because they feel like you're betraying them because you're not doing what they want, which to a narcissist would be a form of betrayal because they're children at heart, because they're like adult man babies or adult woman babies or adult they babies. Keeping your hands clean from any filth. Staying grounded. Finding new techniques and grounding would help. Newfound trust, newfound loyalty, and dedication. newfound gratitude practices, new day, new start, new week, new start, infinite plans, infinite possibilities, infinite paths to walk the walk and talk the talk and make the line happen. Oh, let's see, I's, P's, D's, O's, U's, C's, K's, double O's, D's, C's, and S's throughout the week and throughout the month. So from the 30th all the way until the next 30th. So yeah, all September 2. Let's see. For those that have a lot of heavy fire signs or heavy earth signs, you're going to be the most impacted or the most influenced. For the fire signs, they're going to be the ones that are more passive aggressive, more cynical, more abusive. And the earth signs are going to be more passive, more reserved, and on edge, uncertain, waiting on any financial purpose for the fire sign to make up their mind so they know what they're doing with their, so the earth sign knows what they're doing with the finances. So basically the fire sign is playing control games to feel powerful. And the earth sign is just going to sit on their money and wait for them to be a man and calm down, or for a new personality to pop out. If someone claims to have DID and does this back and forth, the person that may not have DID is going to sit back and wait for the core personality or someone else to pop in, because they believe that you actually have DID. So they're going to wait for you to switch back. And if you don't switch back and you keep, every time they mention it, going back and acting like you were the person that did it, they're not going to believe you, which is why they're slow to trust. Next card. And we have the Page of Wands reversed. Yes, it's supposed to be upside down. This is supposed to be like this. And then what this means is agitation, aggravation, paranoia, being overly cautious due to overanalyzing, sour attitudes, waspy behaviors, passive-aggressive endeavors, cynical views, pessimistic outlooks, narcissistic, abusive behaviors that you cannot control because it's from other people, blackout moments because of the anger due to not being in control or due to feeling out of control because of abuse that is happening to you that is not your fault. Internalized abuse from past or past lives, carry on, wishing people ill will, false promises, fake threats, empty dreams, not fulfilling a promise or not fulfilling a wish due to distracted or scattered energies, or due to lacking convenience, or due to just saying what you want to hear so they shut you up. It looks like there's going to be some form of parroting going on, so it's a repetitive thing that's happened before over and over again. You've seen it done, not necessarily in your life, but in movies and such. Like, you've called out the pattern over and over and over and over and over again. So it's just going to keep repeating until the fire sign learns their lesson, or the earth sign sits on their money long enough to save it to move out. Because this is not a healthy dynamic for the fire signs and earth signs. This may not be your sun signs. These could be your Venus signs, your Mars signs, your moon signs, etc., etc., etc. But if you're fire dominant or earth dominant, this energy feels right for you. At least like the fiery passion, the spitfire, the hot-headedness, the cynical views, the narcissistic tendencies and mindsets, the vanity from others, and all that fun. Arrogance, pride, prejudice, lack of ethics, lack of morals, disorganized thoughts, creating uncertainty on purpose, so it keeps you guessing and it keeps it in chaos. I feel that because you're slow to trust, they keep you in chaos because they expect you to trust them right away. But you gave them trust. It feels like you gave them trust within the last month and they just yanked it away within the last week. So now you're back to the old pattern of you told them, hey, I can't trust you now. And now they're not acting their age because you won't trust them, and you won't trust them because they won't act their age. So you two are at a stalemate because they refuse to grow up and you refuse to do anything other than hold them accountable and physically tell people or show off videos or record what's happening so you don't gaslight yourself. It feels like a lot of anger is the drive here, a lot of resentment, a lot of bitterness, a lot of disdain, a lot of envy too. Oh yeah, you can make money on this, but I can't. Oh yeah, you can get laid with this many people, but I can't. Oh yeah, these people want to be your friends, but they don't want to be my friends. But then they act cynical and pessimistic and passive aggressive. And then they claim that they don't want something. And you say, well, why don't you tell the one person that needs to know? And they won't tell the one person that needs to know. And the one person that needs to know comes over. They say, oh, no, nothing's wrong. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. So they're getting one story. You're getting another. There's going to be a lot of flightiness, a lot of fight or flight mentality being triggered because of immaturity within someone else's insecurity and fear of losing control, especially with the illusion of having control over someone else or over the circumstances. So someone who's so entitled that they feel that they need to be in control, and even asking them for clarity or keeping them to their word or holding them accountable is challenging their authority. So just be aware of how they think and how they respond and what their intentions are, and the ability to move above and beyond that. See any teardrop shapes. Lamps are going to be important. Coins are going to be important. Snakes are going to be important. And staffs are going to be important. Not necessarily like magical staffs, but it could be like work staff, staff infection, stuff like that. Just different things. Coins don't always have to be currency. It could mean something significant. It could be finding a coin on the floor. And lamps, it's not necessarily for wishes or anything like that, but it could be a divination tool sign. That somebody unfriendly, like an unfriendly djinn or a djinn, is warning you of an unfriendly presence. Because there are fae that seem to be around that are influencing the airs and the energies. Considering the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Cups were missing. Communication and love are gone. There's no communication and there's no love in the dynamic of the week. So they're acting cynical, they're acting aggressive, they're acting in anger because there's no love there. They're not communicating, they're not speaking to you because they don't love you. They're acting slow to trust and on high reservations because they don't feel loved. Because you're not communicating. They're slow to trust because of a lack of communication or refusal of basic communication skills like, hey, this is happening, or hey, that is happening. Or even 3 words of, hey, let's go, or hey, I'm leaving, or hey, let's eat, or you do it, or no. Simple stuff like that. Let's see. Emotional unavailability due to a lack of care. So high apathy. No spiritual ties, no emotional ties. Emotionally checked out and mentally checked out of the dynamic. And this could be a good thing if we do like a break a will spell, because that just means that the spell took. So if I did magic for you that way, that would mean that it took well. So yay. Let's see. I know I'm missing something. But yeah, there is no communication and no emotional availability from the fire sign, and a feeling of being unloved and a feeling of being left in the dark from the earth sign due to the fire signs lack of love and lack of communication. So that's what I'm getting for the 30th of August through the 5th of September for the collective. So always with these, take a resonance if it doesn't. If you'd like a personalized one, comment below and we'll figure it out. Thanks for joining.